I just want y'all to know. Um, it took me about 2 hours before I clicked that button. I got so occupied in other things. I did. I got so occupied in other things. That's how long it took for me to click that button. Um, it's not hard to align, but if you don't understand the keys to frequency and alignment, it's going to be hard to align. Now, I ain't perfect when it comes to frequency, but I done learned some hard lessons with frequency to understand how that shit works. Okay. And what happens here with frequency, right? It's not just a fancy word. We deal with frequency every day. We deal with channels and energies, right? All of this every day. We've been dealing with it all our lives. We turned on a channel, right? Either we liked the channel or we didn't like the channel and we changed the channel. We have a feed and we go down the timeline and we go down our feed. And whatever's on our feed is whatever we've been watching. And so we learned about algorithm. An algorithm was offending people. People were saying, hey, my algorithm looks like this. And I don't see certain things on my algorithm because it looks like this, because they're not able to accept the reality of what they're watching, and they're getting more of what they're watching. So when I hear people say, I hate TikTok, that's a strange thing to me, because as someone who loves TikTok and has learned great things from TikTok and has listened to people who did book reviews and so much stuff from TikTok that I love, okay? And so much awesome people that I have crossed paths with on TikTok, I can never say I hate TikTok. And so, therefore, understand life and how it reflects, okay? Now, you have to pay attention to who you have around you, even if in close association. You have to pay attention. What am I saying? You got to pay attention to the little things. You know how they say, keep things close to your chest, especially in books like The Power of Concentration. It states that whatever you got going on, you keep it close to your chest, right? Now, if you are collaborating with someone and that's your partner, then that's a different story, right? But even then, right? But that's another topic. But and when I say partner, I mean like actual business collaboration, right? Well, let's get focused here. So you keep it to your chest. Yo, yo, yo. Oh, excuse me for that. So you don't tell nobody anything about what you got going on whatsoever. You have to keep it silent, because that's how you keep it manifested. That's how you hold its power, right? But there's another thing that I want you to pay attention to. Hear me out. If you have someone around you that you cannot share things with, that is a big red flag. And here's why I'm telling you this. I am someone who is your biggest cheerleader. I can be a stranger. You can tell me, hey, I'm about to get this house. And I'll be like, yeah, you gonna get that house. Nah, 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 you ain't about to. Say you got it. That's your house. Go stand in front of that house and say that's your house, and imagine every day you in that house that that's your house. Like, I'm your biggest cheerleader, and I could be, and I'm a stranger in your life. You're gonna get that house. And I have watched that with myself, where someone wants to do something and I be like, yeah, you're gonna get that. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it, girl. You got this. And they get it. Testimonies. I've seen it. But if you have someone around you where you cannot share things with them, or if you do share things with them somehow, it's some kind of way, gets thrown back in your face and shit, that's a hater. And that's somebody that you should not have around you energetically, because that person's energy will be the very energy that will cause all kind of mayhem in your life. Pay attention to your life when certain people come around. What kind of people you attract, what kind of situations you attract, what kind of drama you attract? What kind of things happen in your life when this person is around? What kind of people you attract? I'm gonna tell you. I listen. I stand on this. Okay. I sat around here, and when I was friends with somebody, I end up talking to people who, one, were still married and they didn't fully get divorced, and they was claiming that they were over the marriage. Number two, they had some engagement, some unfinished business type situation that they still had lingering, or they still was dealing with it. This is what my experience was. And until I got rid of that person, literally cut that person out of my life, and it was hard, but I did it. What I began to realize, the residue of that person was there. We get to the residue in a minute. But I began to realize that that was that person's energy, because I don't attract shit like that. So the key to frequency is knowing your own frequency. Like, you have to know, oh no, I do not attract this. This is not me. Who is this? So you have to be able to have that recognition. Now the residue is, I always say it takes about 6 months to really get somebody's energy away from you. Sometimes it takes longer, you know. I end up going somewhere, and this is before Saturn hit Aquarius, how funny, to join, that coven situation I was in, right? And it turned into a whole big ass shit show. But it was in my face. Number one, the way all those women looked, none of them looked like me. The woman who was actually a decent person, who happened to be a Scorpio from Canada, was actually pretty cool, and I liked her a lot. There was a lot of shit talking by the leader of the motherfucking coven about me. I just seemed to be a big ass problem for her. And so the word got back to me by somebody who's still sleeping on couches between a mama house and between the person who owns the coven, who runs the coven, and between polyamorous bullshit relationships and all this kind of shit, all this petty ass childish shit. And when I said no more, no more, I cut that off. And then as my life went on and I attracted somebody, I attracted someone who I matched very well with. And to this day, we are friends. I even consider this to this almost like, sometimes I have to say this person is like my best friend right now, like in my life. And so this particular person, that's my best friend, they have been divorced. They divorced, and that marriage is years from where, from when they were married. And it's actual, and I've actually heard and listened to the story of how they feel about, it's real. That's what I'm trying to say. So here's another thing that began to happen. I began to start getting into things that I really love to do. I was talking to an actor today who's the same age as me, all right? And she expressed to me that I finally decided in my life to just go for it and finally hone in and do the acting. And she's been on a couple of shows. She's been doing great. She's a good actor. We asked me, she's a very good actor. And I was expressing to her what I liked about her acting style. And let me tell you something. I wouldn't have attracted this if said certain people or said certain person was in my life. You get what I'm saying? You have to be very mindful of how people can sneakily come into your life and be a major distraction. Somebody in your life can be the very thing to why you can't open the door to something in your life. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? And it sounds extreme, right? But I promise you it's not. You have to really understand that you are the main character. And when there's a main protagonist in the story, everything circles around that protagonist. Go watch your favorite TV show. Go watch any show where there's a main protagonist and watch how everything circles around back to that protagonist. Whether it's drama, whether the antagonist is bothering them, whether it's like multiple love interests and all this kind of things. That's all a part of the story. This is how your life works. So when someone comes into your world or comes around in your life, you have to be wise of how they can come into your life. You have to have a standard, a resume, an interview process of how do you come into my life and why are you here in my life and what purpose do you serve in my life and where do I keep moving to the frequency of where I need to go with you in my life. Don't half-ass it. Don't think that you can do something different with this person there while trying to achieve the frequency of what you've been trying to go to anyway. It does not work that way. You have to be completely aligned on they say the yellow brick road and keep walking it to the direction of whatever it is that you're going to. It sounds corny, but when you live it vivid, it's not corny, I promise you. Alignment. When you have something that you're passionate about, that you love, that is something you're executing in your life, you're showing up every day, you're building this hypnotic rhythm of what it is that you're doing, whatever it may be. What happens is the frequency, like it's like rubbing hands, it's like the frequency, I would say like this, rubbing sticks to make fire, right? It rubs and it rubs and it rubs until it makes that fire. Okay. Some people, they take the stick to make fire, they actually flick it down and they flick it down a certain type of way and the wood makes fire. Some people are so good, they know how to rub the stick, the wood a certain type of way, and boom, there's the fire. That's how frequency works in your life. And that's how it works when you are aligning with something for yourself. And so as you show up every day, as you're consistent in the frequency of what yourself is, becomes a part of your lifestyle. Your home begins to reflect it. The way you dress, how you dress begins to reflect it. How you wake up and do your morning routine begins to reflect this lifestyle that you begin to live. And so it begins to go slowly, slowly, slowly. You begin to watch certain type of people or certain things will become that in your lifestyle. And so then what also begins to happen is you will then align with other people who match that lifestyle. So if you put yourself out there, if you go to the festivals and the shows and these different events, you're going to find yourself now crossing paths with the people of the lifestyle in which you're living. And let me tell you something that's so dope about it. It happens fast. It happens so fast that you'll want to break down and cry and be like, why didn't I do it sooner? Don't get caught up in why I didn't do it sooner. Look at what you are now. Look at the fact of the choices that you made so that you can have it. I'm going to tell you a little story. A woman at my job, it's a little story, I promise. She told me that it was a woman that was her friend that lived in the country where she was. And she said she took her to New York City where she was from. And she said she took her everywhere. And she said they had so much fun. Okay. They had so much fun that when she came back to the country, she sat on the edge of the bed and she broke down and cried. Like the woman just kept crying and crying. She couldn't stop her from crying. And the woman was crying because she didn't live her life. She didn't go outside of her town and what she knew. She did not know that there was such a bigger world and a funner world and a beautiful world out there. That's what it feels like when you manifest and you go into alignment. It feels just like that every time. And you don't, that's what it first feels like, but you don't get caught up in that. You go into your space of wisdom and understand you have grown now. You have matured now. You have realized, you have come to the recognition that this part of my life or this person is no longer working for me. This thing or this situation in life is no longer working for me. It can even be the fact that you may drink a lot. To make the choice to stop doing that can be the very thing that opens the door in front of you from just that one little choice. And trust me, it's one little thing that could begin so many things. That's what's so beautiful about the universe. It can be small. You can decide, hey, I'm going to finally clean my home top to bottom, deep clean it. And the next thing you know, some opportunity comes your way. You get on social media and somebody's in your DM or somebody that you'll be like, wait a minute, this is what I did in order for this to happen, because that's what it takes. That's what has to happen sometime. Okay? Sometimes things have to happen to make you move. I don't have rodents in my house, okay? I have not seen a roach or anything of that sort for years. And I saw one today and I damn near lost my mind. And I was like, wait a minute, my neighbor's house is very clean. I don't have no where the fuck did this roach come from? What the fuck is this? They got to be coming from this wall, but how? I went crazy. That very thing made me tomorrow want to grab bleach, gloves, a bucket, dishes, bleach down, clean, everything put up, and even go get some damn rodent spray just from seeing that one goddamn bug. Because it was like, oh, no, that's a goddamn roach. You got to go, motherfucker. That right there set me off just that fast. You see what I'm saying? Because I wasn't even trying to smash it on my fucking counter. That's how much I was like, I'll get your ass tomorrow. Because I didn't want to smash it on my counter. So that, I'm just saying, that's an example for me. So that little thing right there made me want to do something like that in my kitchen. Okay? So, because sometimes that's what it takes. I'm serious. Now, let's get back to alignment. You have to first know what it is that you want for your life. You have to know who you are and what you want for you. You have to first understand and live life on purpose and in purpose. Why am I doing this? Why do I like to do this? What am I getting out of this job? When I put down my resume, what do I benefit? What are the skills that I'm building? What am I getting out of this friendship? And then here is what I want you to start looking at as well. Are you looking at things in peasantry? Let me say that word again. Are you looking at things as a peasant? Meaning, oh, I get good food out of this. That's peasant things. Oh, this person has a car. That's peasant things. This is, and food and transportation and stuff is an important thing, but at what cost? Do you get what I'm saying? Is it the cost of aggravation? Is it the cost of back and forth? Is it the cost of not really trusting them? Is it the cost of them having a smart mouth and being disrespectful? What is the cost? You see what I'm saying? So if that's the case, then it ain't worth it. See, if somebody is your friend, right, you have to see where they align completely with your life. Because I'm going to say some things, and these things may sound very hurtful and judgy and a little harsh, but guess what? I'm going to tell you something. Energy discriminates. Energy discriminates. That's nature, human nature, universal nature, universal frequency discriminates. You cannot sit here and say, hey, we're going to use that woman from the beginning. I want to be an actor. I'm making a decision to be an actor. What do? If you already want to do it, you already had things in your life align with what you want to do. That's another thing too. So you may have act before. You may have been loving it before, and now you're picking it back up again, right? But let's just say that's what you said. What do you have to do? Number one, you have to start going into the studying and the history of acting, right? You have to take yourself and dedicate yourself to acting classes, right? You have to financially make sure you can support yourself to afford to go to these acting classes. Even if you have somebody online that's teaching it for $100 to have a class with them for 4 hours. You see what I'm saying? Or for 2 hours, right? Either way, you're getting something right that you can put on your resume that you have done. You have a friend. Their lives is wrapped around whoever they're dating and drama with their children. You have this friend, and every time you turn around, they got drama at work or drama with their family. That is going to interrupt your frequency. You have a friend while you're practicing acting, they're calling you. And if you don't pick up enough or fast enough, they're manipulating and they're doing all kind of shit to make you feel obligated to pick up that phone. This is what happens. I'm telling you, this is what really starts happening. Eventually, you and acting have a relationship, and therefore that relationship should come first over them. And if you're in a relationship, an actual lovey-dovey one, oh boy, that relationship with acting is going to have to come before that relationship. And if you're married, I can't help you. So, what does it all mean? You got to understand that that person that is that friend with all that drama going on in their life and all that stuff that they want to talk about that has sometimes they might just want to talk about some shit that just don't have nothing to do with acting, because that's what you're doing, right? And all this shit, or now suddenly they be like, oh girl, you acting, let me come in, let me do some acting stuff with you, and all that crazy shit that some of them do. That's going to interrupt your energy. That's going to interrupt your frequency. That's going to block opportunities so much that even if you do cross paths with people in that world, something in them is going to feel the drama of the people around you. Something in them is going to feel that person that talks about a bunch of nothing that's not acting. I'm telling you, it sounds so strange, but it's so goddamn real. Something innately in them will look at you, and even if they see you, and even if they see that you're talented, even if they may see potential, some people don't like that word, they may still not want to deal with you, or your energy still won't be pulled into the circle of that. And I'm going to tell you why that happens to you. Let's say you have this type of friend relationship and you get pulled into your actor circle. Let's say you actually get pulled into the actor circle and you find yourself, let's give yourself a Tyler Perry studio acting circle, right? You're in there, okay? When you go to this space, out of nowhere, whether you want it to be or not, I promise you, some drama is going to happen. Some drama somewhere in that space is going to happen. And you know who the drama is going to happen to? It's going to happen to you. And you're going to wonder, well, what the fuck? Why did I attract this type of shit? Why did I attract this kind of energy towards me in my acting space? And guess what that's going to activate? It's going to activate you to go call that friend that's about all that drama, and now y'all got something to talk about. When you really shouldn't even be focused on that. You just took a Tyler Perry's acting class. You should be focused on that being on your resume. And you should be focused on the notes that you took the day in that class. And hopefully that class was recorded for your own usage so that you become a great actor that you are. And if you want to execute your acting, you want to be trusted, or you want to be people to pick you out to act in their films, right? And notice you didn't even get there yet. You're just still acting and studying because you got this friend, this relationship over here that's constantly ragging on about work, ragging on about their family problems, ragging on about their relationship. Do you see how frequency works? Because see, here's how it really would work when you're truly in your own frequency. You go to the Tyler Perry. I'm just pulling somebody because these are popular people, by the way. Go to the Tyler Perry's acting studio, right? When you get there, you're going to be focused. You're going to take your course. You're going to take notes. And if you have questions, you're going to ask questions. And depending on your class, everybody likes to introduce themselves in the classroom. And during class and all these things that you're going to be doing in this space, you're going to start making connections. So much that you may even pick up somebody that's like, hey, I want you in my film. Because somebody in the acting class may be a writer that's seeking actors. Because that can happen. That's alignment. And you think I'm just making shit up? No, baby. I'm talking this from experience. I sat here and thought to myself, well, why did I had somebody told me you should do this and that with this project? And I'll be like, nah, I don't really think I want to do that. I'm going to keep it. And this person graduated from film school, a great film school, the LA Film School at that. I think everybody from the LA Film School is dope. And this person had opportunities and they blew them all. And they lived in Atlanta and they blew every filmmaking opportunity they could because they was on such a goddamn high horse. And I remember the things that was happening around me in my life too. I remember the things that I was attracting in my life too. I remember the people that was around. I remember what was going on in my life when this person was around. Because I have multiple people around. I can't just not just pinpoint this person, but I'm just saying. But this was the energy of her. So much that wherever she went, she just was not liked. And let me tell you something deep. There was a woman that she talked so nasty about. There was another filmmaker. And I followed her online. Because I'm not somebody you can get to not like somebody because of what you said. And so what happened was I went to her page and I was like, I like this woman. I like what she's doing. I like her outline format. Okay. And I was really following her. I really liked her. So much, no matter what she said about this woman, I still liked her. It didn't make me look at her with three heads. Then I came across her being interviewed on a show with people who I was on their show too. And I came up there and I asked her about her film. And do you know the person that talked cash shit about her? She spoke high of her. She said, man, I thank her so much. She really helped me put my film together. She really was the one that is a part of why this film is happening, right? She spoke highly of her. Well, let's get back to frequency because I'm going to tell you what happened. I remember now. Oh, damn, I didn't remember this. Now I remember. Don't go nowhere. Listen to me. Because this is all for you, okay? Because it's almost 4 in the morning and I'm talking on this microphone. I told her, I said, she spoke highly of you. I mean, I could have just played her the recording if maybe I did. I said, she said that you were a part of why her script was so good. And I told her she was paused. She reached back out to that lady. She went to LA from Atlanta. She went back to LA back because that's where she lived. That's because I said, she went to the school out there. She went back to LA because the lady was in Atlanta and she had the opportunity in LA. And so she went out there to her in LA. And while she was out there with her, they were working on the script. And what did she do? She ended up calling me about some bullshit. She ended up calling me about some bullshit with her and the lady, and something with the writing and something with the payment and this, that, and the third. And I saw the text message. People always show me their text messages. I guess they think I don't really be reading them. And in the message, she was saying, oh, here you go again, doing this stuff again. Let's just do this work. Let's just get it done. Trying to be the adult. And of course, there was another fallout. And that same lady, her car caught on fire. Do you hear me? Her car caught on fire. And she was breaking down and all this stuff. I can't make this shit up. And Shorty Yorty, the one who was talking shit about her, took her ass back to Atlanta. Now, was I wrong? Was I wrong for going back telling her how highly she spoke of her? No. Why? Because I saw this woman as a friend, an acquaintance, right? I said, wait a minute, hold on. But here's what I learned through wisdom, and I want you to listen to me very good. You need to know when the opportunity is for you. You need to know when there is a door right there open, and you got this man person over here, but that door is open, and they're talking shit about that person on the other side of that door, and you got to tune them out and walk through that door. When that woman spoke so high about her, that was my moment. In that moment, to connect to that woman and want to do a collab and ask her questions and ask her more questions about myself and whatever, because she more than likely would have reached out and helped me. Do you see how it works? That's not the first time that happened to me in my life too. Because see, that woman's energy from Atlanta that came back to LA purposefully got in that woman's way, because she did not take opportunity that was falling on her damn lap. And that woman did it. So much that she picked up her stuff and traveled to LA for the opportunity. That woman's energy caught her car on fire because it knew that she had to go to LA. She had to have a car in order to have the opportunity. Do you see how this shit works? Yes, people energy can be that disturbing, and I'm not trying to scare you when I tell you this, because you have to look around and be like, my car's on fire. Who the fuck is around me that I need to get the fuck away from me? Because this is crazy. How I'm sitting here with an industry opportunity and my car's catching on fire. Somebody hates me. Anyway, another time, there was a woman full of silliness. I'll make this one super short. And the dude that she had this silliness going on with, I was like, look, I want to be a part of helping you write your storyline in Brooklyn. It's a TV series, but at least I could get a credit. At least I could get some kind of credit for my writing, my name out there, and I could just start somewhere. This is when I was in my young 30s, 32, 33 stage in my life. I was young. Well, the silly gal decided to do some dumb shit. And he even texted me and said, tell her she gonna build some karma for herself for the shit that she doing. She need to stop doing this shit. And I was like, I didn't want to get involved with it. But the person was still communicating with me. Therefore, I could have still worked with the person, but the drama was so intense that I didn't want nothing to do with it. Two opportunities in my life. Two opportunities in my life. I had another opportunity where I could have met Adrienne Young. I had another opportunity where I kind of looked at it. I kind of didn't really get into it, but it was more like an acting opportunity. I'm not an actor. I'm a writer. I'm an artist, background person, director, casting director type person. And I look at all of these things, but I don't look at it sadly. I don't look at it with regret. I don't look at it if shoulda, coulda, woulda stuff. I do not. I realize everything I'm telling you. I was not aligned. Okay? I was not aligned for that for which I was seeking. And therefore, even if I could have had it, something still would have, it still was not aligned. Do you see? That something still would have fell on my head in troubles that had nothing to do with me. It had everything to do with the energy that just didn't serve me. So don't you for 1 minute think you got this goal that you got to walk to on this yellow brick road. Because you understand why is that a yellow brick road? Because yellow is associated with gold. Yellow is also the color of the solar plex. But gold is the element connected to the heart chakra. And in Egypt, you weigh the heart with what? The feather. Your heart had to be light as a feather. So if your heart is heavy and it outweighs the feather or makes the feather blow away because it's so heavy, you have to come back into this lifetime and figure it out again. These principles are here for a reason. And so getting back to that yellow brick road, you have to walk it. But when you have all these people who are not aligned with the direction of where you are walking on this yellow brick road, you're not going to get what it is that you're trying to aim for. You may cross paths. You may even brush elbows, but you don't fully get it. You're still watching from the window. You think that you got something special because you met this celebrity over here and you connected over here, you went to this event over here, but you came back with nothing. You didn't come back with a person who gave you their contact information. You didn't come back, but guess what? Even if you did, something would have not fell through because you're not aligned. And I'm not here to tell you this. I'm not here to tell you cut off all your friends, burn all your bridges. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying to you, what are you aligning with in your life? What is the frequency that you are on and you're aiming for in your life? And what does it look like? What is your everyday life for what you are aiming for? Who else matches around that? And that is where you're going to have to be honest. But let me tell you something. The more you vibrate in that level of life for yourself, the people are going to show their ass on you anyway. Ever since I made the choice to do the things that I'm doing over here, Even a small choice to make a healthy life changing decision, even the choice to do that, let me tell you that that decision has caused slight little things happening to me at work. Not when you know what? It's so funny because I'm actually getting a better response from even higher ups now that's smiling at me and saying hello. I never really got that energy, but I'm getting that more. Um, I mean, one of the head managers actually smiled and asked me how I was doing. I was kind of shocked. I've never had that happen. It wasn't flattery. You get what I'm saying? But then I noticed with coworkers, one of them she just be having little things to say, and she be getting attitudes and all this stuff. And I told myself today, again to the person listening, this is all for you. I told myself today, because this is what you're aiming for, your frequency is changing, your mindset is shifting, and you're on go. And you're making health changes, major health changes, and your spirit is on go. And so the people around you are being very aware of that. And so therefore, these people are acting out because it goes to your frequency. So the next thing you know, that friend that you have, frequency is going to start acting out. And you're going to be like, damn, bitch, what's your problem? Now that person's screaming. Now that person is doing all kind of extra dumb shit. And you just like, bro, what is your problem? I'm going to tell you what their problem is. You are shifting. Your energy is going up to a place and they can feel it. The same thing with me. When you work a job and you got other things going on, people can feel you got other things going on. Tell me why I have a notebook that I always write in. And that's for the birds. You got me fucked up if you think I'm gonna write novels and scripts and all that inside this book. That book is a check off book to highlight and check things off and take notes and get things done on the computer and type it out. Tell me why that book was open today. Tell me why that book was open. And I know for damn sure I put that book under my lunchbox. The book was open. I looked and I said, damn, who's looking at my notebook? You see? That's how the frequency goes. And I know for sure somebody flipped over my notebook. And the page that they flipped on was I think I listed like 3 series that I would need to watch the pilot for or something like that. But it was like they flipped to a page. And I'm like, did this person think that I was going to be journaling about people at work? What did they think? And I could feel that whoever flipped over that notebook was like, oh shit. I felt it when I looked at it because I said, who flipped over my notebook? Then I got my pen. I sat down and had my food, got my pen, and started scribbling some more in my notebook. I looked at the page that they had it on, like, oh yeah, damn, I forgot about this page. And then I went on to do something else. And I could feel they was like, oh shit. I watched that show. See? So curiosity, intrigueness, and people who want to, get nosy, and all that comes with the territory. But you have to be strong. And you cannot be weak-minded in this shit. You get me? I mean this from my heart. You have to be strong. Therefore, you don't self-sabotage because this person next to you won't be able to come to where you're going. That's not your responsibility. That's theirs. And let me tell you another little secret. You're going to find out that person was never good for you. You're going to find out that that person came into your life at a very low point, or it's going to make you cry if you realize that that person came into your life in a time to fucking distract you on your path. That that person is actually an antagonist while you are the protagonist in life. I sat here and thought about my own personal experiences, right? Without, and I'm kind to myself. You know what I'm saying? I really am. And I thought about my experiences from the most recent experience and all this kind of shit. And I was just like, you know what? I can't get mad at that experience with those ladies at the coven thing, because it was in my face that I didn't belong there. It was in my face that I was a threat when I walked into that room, that people had a problem with who I was when I walked into that room. That my existence alone offended people so much that when the head person of it was talking shit about me, they couldn't help but to make sure I knew what she was saying about me. All kind of dumb shit. And I realized, why did all of that happen to me in my life and what that was about? And you will give away with the petty shit and the petty people. You'll have a compass, a GPS system inside yourself to start recognizing people who carry this kind of behavior, so that you don't have to ever be in a space of, oh shit, did this really happen? You just know it's coming. You know what comes with them. Now, I feel another question. Let's get into alignment. Now, believe it or not, um, if you are a parent, you can get your children. I tell everybody all the time, you can get those children on board with you. That's the one thing about being a parent. You can get those children. Your children can follow right through with your schedule. Your children can follow right through with your new eating habit. Your children can follow through with everything it is that you do. Your children can help you run whatever your dreams are. Children don't get in the way. Okay? I've never seen children get in nobody's way. Unless but you must be wise about your reproductive system. I was not reckless with my reproductive system, and that's no shade when I say that. I don't have no children in my 30s. I didn't have, and I damn sure don't have them in my 40s. And I won't have no children in my 40s. It's a lot of decisions that I have made, a lot of conscious decisions that I have made to be where I'm at right now. I mean, seriously. And so those things are key points. Now, you like your homegirl, right? Your homegirl that's your nigga, right? Or your homeboy, that's your nigga, right? We're going to use the acting example because it's easy. But you're so passionate about acting, and you like acting on films, and you like to read scripts, and you like to do your characters, and you like to audition, and you like to do this thing, but you got this homegirl, you love your homegirl, this bitch is funny. You need to know that if homegirl said is not collabing with you, or she's not sharing the same session that you have with acting, or she's not able to bring you into the spaces, you need to understand that you're going to interrupt yourself of truly getting opportunity. You're going to get yourself in the way of truly getting opportunity for whatever it is you want to get opportunity for. And I'm going to tell you what else going to happen. That frequency that you have to move and make opportunity, that homegirl or homeboy is going to use that energy to manifest and make things happen for them, while that's your energy that they're doing all that with. At the same time, while you're still trying to make it off your feet all the way as an actor, it doesn't work that way. You cannot have the best of the worst worlds. You heard me? You cannot have the best of the worst worlds. When it comes to energy alignment, it is straight and it is narrow. It is horse blinder focused. And you stand 10 toes down about your standards, who you are, and your boundaries. And you be like, yo, listen, it gets to the point that if someone approaches you outside, you like, yo, you talking about acting? You into acting and performing? You do music? You are you a writer? Are you this and that? Because I don't have the capacity to be involved with anything else but what I'm passionate about, what I'm obsessed about every day, and that's acting. That's what happens when you begin to meet people outside. And the people who are real, the conversation is different. People meet you where you are in the conversation. They'll be like, hey, you act, you're an actor, right? You act on such and such. I saw you on that show. That's how the conversation gonna go. I saw you at Tyler Perry's acting class. You was out there, right? Oh yeah, I saw you doing the acting. I'm a screenwriter. That's how the universe works. Not gonna say what, but I went out my comfort zone and reached out to somebody. I said, hey, here's a project I got going on. I'm looking for this project and this significant people. You think you can help me find this because this, that, and the third? They said, hey, I'll pass the word around to these other people for you. I got you. When I tell you the way that door manifested, and I just found another email that I didn't even see. I was like, oh shit, I didn't even see this email, and I saw this email today, and then I got another email. I said, I know you fucking lying. I did not sign this application to do this. I told y'all something else, but y'all still want me to be something else. And so, excuse me, the yawn is kicking in. Excuse me on that for the headphone boost. It didn't matter that the other opportunity came, even though I requested something else. The opportunity is there for me because of my alignment. The email that I got from one person today who I actually really like, and I said, damn, okay, this person emailed me. And I said, yeah, damn, I'll email them first thing in the morning tomorrow. Because that was the opportunity that was laid out for me because I'm living my life according to that. Now, giving you real life experience. I had someone in my life that said, hey, I need a break from you. And I said, okay. Don't know what happened, but okay. And as soon as that happened, I made the choice to do what I had to do to reach out to this person. And all this stuff happened within hours of time that I got these emails. So much that I got to open up the notebook and start writing some things down. To journal who I spoke to, what I talked to them about. I have to do that now. Just to keep up with my timeline. Do you get what I'm saying? And this person was still texting me. And I'm like, hey, what's up? I've been busy. Because I have been busy. Now, what about that example is important? The universe will help move energy out of your way to make a more clear view of how to keep and stay aligned. Okay? That's the thing. that little energy of that person saying, I'm going to just fall back and I'll see you on this day. And I'm like, okay, yeah, we're going to handle business on that day. That little energy right there is such a humongous thing for what's happening. For what's happening right now. I yawned again. That's 3 times. For what's happening right now. Somebody like, bitch, if you don't mute that microphone, I can't get to it fast enough, yo. And for you who's listening to me right now, hear me out very, very tightly, okay? What is it worth that you keep somebody or keep people and persons and all these things that do not serve you? What is it worth for them to be around? Because see, for me, I'm sitting over here planning shit, and I'm planning, and I'm making deadlines that I've never made before. But I'm making deadlines, and I'm pushing the pedal to the metal. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh, it's getting real. I have to be respected and taken serious for my work. Do you see what my mindset is at? You think I'm on somebody telling me they want a break and then they upset with me for not texting them when I'm really busy? Like that ass was busy. It's not that I forgot about them. I was really busy. And you know who made me busy? You got it. The people who contacted me. You know why I got busy? Because they're busy. You see how the energy works? You get it now, right? Yeah, you get it. See how that flowed? It was like, oh, damn, this person right here made me put, you know what I'm saying, move like Fred Flintstone with my feet and go ahead. This person right here this one person I contacted from everybody else made me bust my ass and build a deadline that I have never built before. And I'm going to be in that deadline. Made me pull out my book and write down who I conversed with on what day and what we talked about and highlight everything and make things clear and have things noted out for myself that I can keep. Where that energy come from? Not that it's already not my energy, but it came from that one email and then all the other people. I have to follow through. And then it came with other things that I planned, and I don't even have everything, but I'm still manifesting. Someone always said, if you got to get to the other side of the island and you have to build a bridge to get there, how you going to build that bridge? And the answer is you're going to find the parts to make that bridge because you want to get over there. And that's exactly what I'm doing. But going back to the topic of alignment and frequency, my frequency has now got in line with the frequency of these people to understand how to professionally request what I'm asking for. My energy got in line with the frequency of these people so much that I now went over here to handle some money matters to say, hey, let me check my credit score. Oh, I need to do what I need to do to build up my credit score. See? Because maybe it's possible that, I'm going to say it's very much so, that this person who I connected with, this is something that they do that's important to them. There's something financially that they are being more stable and disciplined about. But see, how would I had even caught that frequency? And I'm going back to you now. How would you even catch the frequency if you keep the frequency of the dead weight around? This constantly is testimony in my life. I had someone I started the band with, and I had to get rid of that dead weight. And it's just so ironic. So ironic who said that to me. I had to get rid of the dead weight. And next thing you know, I go in the background, I got 10,000 goddamn views on my Instagram. And I'm like, what the fuck? Who's looking at my Instagram? Who these 10,000 people? But it was after I cut that motherfucker off. And of course, it came back a year down the line, and that motherfucker was talking cash shit about me, calling me all kind of names. The person didn't even want to tell me everything that they said. They was like, I don't remember. Okay, that's fine. And so all of these things connect to back to you and what you're aligning with and who does not work for you. A lot of people, man, I love Abraham Hicks, man. I love Abraham Hicks, man. She goes in on that frequency thing, man, and alignment thing, man. She the one. Can't nobody do it better than Abraham Hicks. And let me tell you something else. All these success books is telling you this too, in their own type of way. James Clear from Atomic Habits said, you have to not identify with the thing in order to let it go. You smoke because you identify with smoking. You have to stop identifying with it. Once you stop identifying with it, then you no longer will do it. Because when you proclaim, I'm a smoker, I smoke, you're putting that into the universe. And so you identify with it. But the moment you say, I don't identify with smoking, or maybe just don't identify with it at all, then you don't identify with it. It's the same thing with your friendships. It's the same things with the people you connect with. It's the same thing. You identify with that shit. But then you have to not identify with it. You identify, going back to the example, with acting and performing and being a great actor and studying great actors and watching silent films with actors. Going back to the walls and the acting that was going on there. Going into understanding how to read a script and stuff as an actor and all these different things. And so what's useful? But what is useful for you? In that friend and that close person and all that? Maybe the very thing, or that relationship, maybe the very thing that you gotta let go in order to get to the end. Because I'm gonna leave it here. I am someone who is a living testimony. I'm going to say it again. And I'm going to tell you, you have to align. Nothing is an accident. It's no accident that somebody got upset with me and was like, they need a break. And I said, okay. And then the moment I gave them a break, look what happened. Yeah. I just wanted you to take a moment and let that sink in for you for a second. Because this is for you. Look what time it is. Okay? Because it took me about 2 hours to actually press that live button and get on this microphone. Because I was occupied with other things. I got busy. So, how do people go out here and brush elbows with celebrities? How do people go out here and they're able to go into a chat room of a person in the industry and ask a question, and that question gets answered, or the question gets your question gets answered because you're at the top, okay, of they resonate with you. You don't even have to pay. How does these things happen? Because your energy is already felt of belonging in that space. So you being an actor, you going to Will Smith's chat room or his space, And the next thing you know, he looks at the screen and he's answering your question about acting. And he's like, oh, that's a great question to ask about acting. Right? And then once they say it's a great question to ask about acting, then you got your answer or something, right? Because you already belong in that space. Because you've put that frequency, that lifestyle in you, that you feel familiar. You see how it works? And it don't even have to be Will Smith. It could be people from Tubi that act. And they're popular. There are popular actors on Tubi. You can go check it out. And they could be popular for acting on Tubi for certain parts or be typecasted or whatever. And there you are in that room with them. Because you have to start somewhere for yourself. You have to build the practice and the momentum somewhere. You're not going to build practice and momentum with somebody who got drama all day around them. Anyway, I do encourage listening to Abraham Hicks because I'm about to go listen to her right now myself. Or I might listen to the other book. But anyway, I'm out of here. It's been fun. And whoever you are out there that needed to hear this, I hope you really, really listen to what I have to say to you in this moment. Anyway, I'm out of here.